Hello YouTube, today we're going to be going over the new dev notes and see what they have cooking for us and what's going to be happening in this game in the future. So how about we start by reading them out. Here we have the developer's note. First of all, I'd like to apologize for inconvenience to issues that happened after the last update. We got a few rewards thanks to that problem, so it's okay. Soul leveling is growing because of the feedback, which is good. And they try to meet our expectation, which is always a good thing. Today we are here with developer note to share some news about upcoming updates before official livestream at the end of October. Okay, so they'll have a new livestream at the end of October. We have Workshop Brilliant Light Demon's Castle upper floors. Following story of Baran, Monarch of White Flames in the last update, Workshop Brilliant Light Demon's Castle upper floors, Baran Raid will be added to the game. First, Baran will begin with difficulty of somewhere between Vulcan Easy and Normal. Okay, that's nice. I can beat Vulcan easy, but I haven't managed to beat Vulcan on normal yet. I can get to Vulcan, but I haven't tried enough to defeat it in normal. But let's see. If it's a bit easier than the normal Vulcan, I'm probably able to defeat Baran after a few tries at least, but I'll see when the mode arrives. If you manage to clear the Baran raid immediately after the update, you'll be in top 10% of hunters worldwide. Okay, so when the update arrives, if I'm able to, I'll try to beat it fast, but I can't make any promises because I don't know how difficult it will be. If it's below Vulcan normal, I should be able to get it, but without trying, I'll never know. Secondly, there is no mandatory requirement of specific hunter skills in order to defeat Baran. When challenging Vulcan, we are aware that hunters with shield removal such as Wang Dong-su or Melin Fisher took a spot in your formation. Instead, how about challenging Baran with a more diverse group of hunters? Okay, that's cool. It's always a bit annoying when you have to use a certain unit in your team to be able to defeat the boss, and instead of allowing you to choose the ones you like the most or the ones you think will be the better ones, instead of just using the one specific hunter because it's the only way you are able to remove the shield. Of course, modes where you're meant to use certain hunters are also interesting, but it becomes a bit boring when it's a repetitive event where you're always mandatory to use the same hunters or you're not going to defeat the boss. So it's good that they're going to change that mechanic. Lastly, Baran has a weakness against Dark Element and Wind Element. Just like Vulcan, Baran also has a standard amount of Break Gauge. Utilizing this will help you in challenging Baran. Okay, so he's going to be weak against Dark and Wind. Makes sense, they gave us a lot of Dark Element hunters recently, but I would assume he was going to be weak against Light because of the fact that he's a demon. It would make sense for him to be weak against Light, but I guess he's weak against Dark and Wind. Since we got so many Dark and Wind Element hunters recently, makes sense to be able to use them on the new mode. And to assist with defeating Vulcan, we plan to extend Charlotte's raid up period for a week. We ask for your participation for the upcoming Baran raid. And they're also extending the raid up for Charlotte in case you didn't get her, so if you need her to defeat Baran, you still can get her. That's nice, at least if you're still trying to get her and you didn't have enough to summon for her until the banner ends, you have another week to get her and use her to defeat the boss. A new growth system, the power core. Okay, we have a new growth system. It's good and bad at the same time, but in this game you need a lot of power, so new ways to increase your power is always appreciated. Just don't make it annoying or tedious. As announced in previous official livestream, along with the renewal of core missions and expansion, we are planning to introduce the new core system and the renewal for the Workshop Brilliant Light, so that cores could be obtained as a reward. Okay, so the core system will be in the Workshop Brilliant Light, and they will renew the workshop so the cores are obtained. I hope they don't reduce the amount of artifacts, but they just enhance the rewards by adding the cores there. Maybe if you defeat the levels where you get the blessings, you also get cores for defeating them. That way it gives a purpose for those floors. I always do the floors to get the blessings to make my fights easier, but some people might power through the bosses because they're strong enough to do that, and they wouldn't need to go for those floors, and now they have an incentive to at least try and get blessings and maybe the cores if they're in the blessings floors. A total of 3 cores can be equipped, and each of them offers specialized effects such as attack, defense, support. It makes sense. Accords another growth element for switching on other hunters. A card that matches the passive will offer special effects and stats. Okay, when they mean the passive, are they meaning your own passive, or is that a new passive they're talking about? Because if the cores are attack, defense, and support, I'm not seeing what the passive means, but we'll see later. You share with you the image of the upcoming core system. They'll be putting in utmost effort to finalize everything before we meet with you. So these are the cores. They're 3 different cores: attack, defense, and support. Maybe they have different passives like they mentioned, and you want to use the one that matches correctly. So you have basically, I mean, if you use the 3 of the same, you probably have a bonus effect instead of using different color ones. The Ultimate Hunter Guns mod and Demon King's Longsword. During the last festival livestream, our team mentioned that we will continue monitoring just hunts who are less equipped. In this balance adjustment, Fire Element Hunters from the Manu and Demon King's Longsword will be adjusted since they have received most feedback from our fellow hunters. Shoi Jong-hin will be buffed, which makes sense. CC can't crit, he lacks severely against the other hunters. Funny enough, he was the strongest hunter in beta because the crit was bugged. The hunters weren't critting, so the strongest hunter was Shoi, but once the game released and the hunters could crit properly, he was left behind because, well, if a hunter can't crit, he needs to deal a massive amount of damage with base stats alone, which he wasn't doing, so they have to adjust him. Passive details advancement 0. Instead of critical hits being applied, attacks will be adjusted as 40% 50%, so a 10% increase in damage. The Ultimate Hunter, attack and defense penetration will be adjusted as 16% to 20, so a 4% defense penetration boost. Advancement 3, skill damage will be adjusted as 50% to 60%. Burn, the damage delta every cycle will be adjusted from 50 to 100, okay, that's a huge buff. Now he's going to basically deal twice the damage from Burn. CC can't crit makes sense. Equivalent exchange. The attack increase rate based on advancements will be adjusted as listed below. So now whenever you advance the Shoi, you will have even more attack percent from his effect. We have to see when the changes come if it made a huge difference or not. Since he was so weak before, now we can see how strong he is with the new buffs. Now we have Yosoi Hun, also adjusted. The damage of magic firearm that's continuing around Suijun will adjust to 160%, equal to 40% of her attack. They mean that she will deal 160% of her, or 40% of her attack, I believe, which it means. A bit confusing the word, but she'll be doing more damage basically. Kill shot, advancement 1. The attack of the core attack, which is activated when using kill shot, will be just as the 10% increase in the core attack if you have a first advancement. Our second advancement, fish penetration, will be increased. On the 5th advancement, to opponents who are applied with magic reaction, damage of kill shot, hellfire per stack will be increased as 4% to 6 and 80 to 120% at maximum stack. So if you invested in your Suihun, you will have a bigger damage increase on the last advancements. Now the sword. I have the sword, but I have never used it, so I hope they make it strong enough so I finally build the Demon King Longsword. It's a cool looking weapon, so I would like to use it. So let's see. If you have no advancements, when lightning is used, it applies a shield and performs a counter attack, which is the same. The stun and storm of white flames effects are applied upon a successful counter attack, and the shield is a shield of 20% of the user's max HP. It's now 50% of the user's max HP, so it's a huge shield that you'll get. It's not the most important aspect, since you don't really, unless you're using no healers, might be useful to have that shield, but you also have good hunters that shield you, so it might not be the best buff, but let's see. Storm of White Flames increases the user's attack by 8%, now it's 12%. Creates a lightning that deals damage equal to 120% of the user's attack in nearby areas every 0.75 seconds. Now it's 200% of the user's attack in nearby areas. Okay, though it's a decent buff to the damage the weapon does when you counter attack, I suppose, or it's the skill. I've never used the sword, so now I'm not quite sure which one is the where it creates the lightning, but it's a huge buff, and you also get more attack from the effect. So overall, it's always good. It's a buff. If you have a first advancement, Stroke of Lightning deals 100% of attack instead of 60%, so it's a 40% increase in damage, which is nice. If you have the third advancement, you have a new effect now. Storm of White Flames damage increases 30%. increases wind element damage by 10% during Storm of White Flames. Okay, so that's a huge buff. Now you have a 30% damage increase and a wind element damage increase when you use the Storm of White Flames on the third advancement, and the final advancement also has a new effect. Instead of counter attack is now lightning hit, which will mean that's a easier time to deal, and it increases to, and it's twice the amount of damage, so it's a huge buff at the 5th advancement. Stroke of Lightning effect enhancement inflicts the Stroke of Lightning effect to the same target every 3 attacks. Deals damage equal to 200% of attack. Okay, so if you have the 5th advancement of the Demon Lord's Sword, Demon King's Long Sword, you'll be dealing a huge damage increases and easier to hit. Instead of a counter attack, now you just have to hit lightning to apply the damage, and it's a huge chunk of damage that you'll be doing. So, and you also have 2 new effects at later advancements, making the sword dealing. It seems like the sword will be a really good weapon, but we can only see when we get it. I'm not going to be able to see how big the difference is because I don't have enough copies to see the changes from the 3rd to 5th advancement, but someone will probably do it for me. So, upcoming changes. Okay, Shine, Alicia Blanche, Maleficent, Yusayuna, Amami, Amira, and Asami will be added to the rate up draw. Okay. Maleficent, Yusayuna, Amira, and Asami will be added to special summons after the reset. Okay, so if you pay for special summons, now you can get the new hunters and the new weapons. Okay, the amount of popcorn point obtained when obtaining additional hunters who have completed Transcendence advancement will be increased as 15 to 204. Wait, that's a huge amount of coins. Whenever you get additional hunters who have completed Transcendence advancement, so once you get 5 or 10, I'm not sure, you'll get a huge amount of coins instead of just 15. And if you already obtained the coins, you'll get 235 additional per duplicate that you obtained previously. And now they'll have a special player's weapons design from 1 with 3 limits, SSR weapon design, 1 for 5 purchases, and mana power extract 1 to 6. They increased from 3 purchases to 6. Now we might be able to buy the stuff with the coins since they increased the amount. Okay, this is the change to Kaislin. The fight was interesting, but it was really annoying. He's constantly flying, which will take away time from you to deal damage, and sometimes he gets invulnerable, so it's really awkward to fight him. Okay, the flying to charge will be changed to be triggered when failing to break. So when you're trying to break him, if you don't get in time, he will do the fly and charge attack instead of the previous one. The guild menu will be adjusted for user access. They will add a function that registers scores while paused. Level 73-78 artifacts will obtained from certain difficulties of this dungeon in core missions. Okay, that's interesting. The 78 artifacts should be the new ones, the ones from Workshop of Brilliant Light. So they might add the workshop artifacts into Instance Dungeon, or they'll increase the ones there to 73 and 78. We'll see later, but it seems like it will be nice. You have more presets. More rewards for subscriptions, that's for paying players. Okay, you can obtain keys from guild level 6 or higher. Ooh, a new Blessing Stone slot, that's amazing. Now you'll have a new slot to equip Blessing Stones, so you can have more buffs from the stones. So they're going to add the stone to help us. It's nice. Then Judge of Death. Ooh, that's nice. What's this? We have revealed this image through the previous second half roadmap of the year before. The monster that you could sometimes see on the loading screen is approaching close to you step by step. By the time it's through from his relief, the new shop change for Xingwu will likely be had. Oh, we'll have a new job change. It might be the... This looks like the Shadow Monarch, the previous Shadow Monarch, so you might be equipping a form that will look like the previous Shadow Monarch, which is nice. An upcoming season event and new Instance Dungeon are also scheduled for that period, makes sense. And we'll back with the upcoming update. Please look forward. Nice, we'll have a new job change, which also means a ton of stats for Sang Jinho and maybe a new skill. They're usually good. Let's see if they can make a new and better skill with the new job change. And let's see if we get something regarding the Shadow Monarch. It would be cool if we could get him as a shadow, but let's see what we get with the upcoming update once he arrives. And we also have a code for 1,000 essence stones and a million gold. That's nice. Don't forget to redeem the code before it expires. And that's it for the dev note. Thank you for the rewards and for the updates. And that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next video. If you liked, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.